What if I told you that your addiction is not a mistake? What if the reason you cannot stop scrolling, gaming, or consuming is not because your brain is broken, but because it is working exactly as it was designed? Welcome. Today, we are going to deconstruct the logic of addiction. We are not just going to quote Bible verses at you. We are going to look at the mathematics of your soul. Here is the shocking truth. The pain of addiction, that feeling that you can never get enough, is actually proof of your divinity. Imagine you put a Ferrari engine into a lawnmower. What happens when you turn it on? The lawnmower shakes, it overheats, and eventually, it tears itself apart. Is the engine bad? No. The engine is just too powerful for the machine. The Bible suggests that human beings are created with an infinite engine inside them, a soul designed to consume the infinite. But here's the problem. We live in a world of finite things. We try to pour finite fuel, like money, status, dopamine, or substance, into an engine built for the infinite. And logically, mathematically, this equation can only end in one result: a breakdown. Let's look at the science. It's called the law of diminishing returns. King Solomon, the wisest man in the Bible, identified this over 3,000 years ago in Ecclesiastes 1:8. He said, "The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing." Think about your first high. Maybe it was the first time you used a substance, the first time you consumed sexual content, or the first time you went viral on social media. Your brain released a massive spike of dopamine. It felt amazing. It felt like heaven. But then, you did it again. Was the second time as good as the first? No. To get that same feeling, you had to do it twice as much, then 3 times as much. This is the trap. You are trying to fill an infinite hole with finite dirt. It is a mathematical impossibility. You think you are addicted to the substance, but logically, you are not. You are addicted to the promise of satisfaction that the substance fails to deliver. You are chasing a ghost. And this brings us to one of the most powerful, mind-blowing images in the entire Bible. It explains addiction better than any modern psychology textbook. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 13, God describes the root cause of all human addiction. He says, "My people have committed 2 sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and have dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold water." Let me explain this in detail, because in modern times, we don't use cisterns. In ancient Israel, a spring or fountain was a miracle. It was water that bubbled up from the ground, fresh, cool, and endless. You didn't have to work for it. It just flowed. That is God. A cistern was a tank that you had to carve out of rock. It was hard work. You had to wait for rain to fill it. The water would sit there, get stagnant, get full of bugs, and eventually, it would run out. But God adds a detail. He says your cistern is broken. It has a crack. This is the perfect definition of addiction. Addiction is you, furiously pouring water into a tank that has a crack in the bottom. You pour more alcohol in, it leaks out. You pour more scrolling in, it leaks out. You pour more relationships in, it leaks out. You are not bad. You are thirsty. And your mistake isn't that you are thirsty. Your mistake is the source of your water. You are treating a broken tank like it's a living spring. You are worshiping the creation rather than the Creator. Addiction, at its core, is disordered worship. Let's look at a specific case study. In John chapter 4, Jesus meets a woman at a well. This woman was a relationship addict. The text tells us she had 5 husbands, and the man she was living with now was not her husband. Society called her immoral. But logically, what was she doing? She believed that if she just found the right man, she would finally feel whole. Husband number 1 didn't fix her soul. So she thought, maybe husband number 2 is the one. Then number 3, then number 4, then number 5. Do you see the pattern? It's the same as a drug addict increasing the dose. She was looking for a God-sized love in a human-sized man. Jesus doesn't scream at her for her sin. He attacks her logic. He says to her, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst." John 4:13. Jesus was saying, "Lady, your problem isn't men. Your problem is that you are trying to quench a spiritual thirst with a physical liquid. So, how do we fix this? How do we actually stop the addiction?" The answer is surprising. It is not about willpower. Most people try to fight addiction with willpower. They say, "I will not drink. I will not look at that. I will not do it." The Bible says in Colossians 2 that these rules have no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. Why? Because of the white bear effect. If I tell you, do not think of a white bear, what are you thinking about? A white bear. You cannot empty your mind. You can only replace it. Scottish theologian Thomas Chalmers called this the expulsive power of a new affection. Imagine a cup filled with air. You cannot shovel the air out. The only way to get the air out is to pour water in. The water expels the air. To break a logical loop of addiction, you must introduce a superior variable. You don't just say no to the world. You must say yes to something better. When the urge hits you, that is your soul screaming for dopamine. Don't suppress it. Redirect it. Pray this: God, I am hungry right now. I want to click this link. I want to drink this drink. My soul is thirsty, but I know this is a broken cistern. You are the living water. Satisfy me right now with your presence, so that I don't need this cheap substitute. Taste and see that the Lord is good. The only cure for the pleasure of sin is the superior pleasure of God. So, stop hating yourself for your addiction. Your addiction is actually a signpost. It is your soul telling you that you are too big for this world. You are trying to find the infinite. You just have the wrong map. The thirst you feel is the thirst for Jesus. He is the only substance in the universe large enough to fill the void in your chest without vanishing. Stop drinking from the sand. Come to the water. If this video shifted your perspective, type living water in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more logic, more truth, and more Bible. God bless you.